I love anything that has to do with rescuing cats, horses, dogs, and all sorts of other animals, plus the organizations that work with them. Now, I just love some of their names. Today's episode, my guest and his organization, The Man Who Rescues Dogs, may just be my favorite name. It's simple, it's descriptive, and just a wee bit funny. And it also makes me smile every time I say it. Now, do you remember him from our very first episode? If you didn't hear it, go back and listen. His story is really pretty amazing. Michael Baines, the founder of The Man Who Rescues Dogs, and yes, I'm smiling right now, he joins me. And guess what? He's got a surprise announcement. He's written a book all about his crazy and wonderful story. Now, I feel really privileged he asked to come back on the show. Now, he's going to update us on the wheelchair mafia. Remember them? The 40 plus dogs that he put in carts so they could run and they're now living their best lives? And just like last time, he's entertaining, informative, and he's just really this great guy. So sit back and get ready to hear him tell his story. And then you're going to have a great reason to go out and buy his book and read the entire story. And lastly, please go get the book when it comes out. His royalties are going to go back to, spoiler, and I am smiling, The Man Who Rescues Dogs. We are supported by PrepVet, providing stem cell therapy for pets.
As a pet lover, did you know your pet can benefit from the incredible healing power of stem cell therapy? Prep Therapy offers a groundbreaking solution taken right from your pet's own blood. Say goodbye to joint pain, arthritis, kidney and liver conditions, and more. They'll experience faster recovery, increased vitality, and extended quality of life without the need for surgery or harmful drugs. Put the wag back in their tail and discover Prep Therapy today at prepvet.com. Save 10% with promo code FurRealPodcast, covered by most pet insurance.
For real, 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 for real. Got a bunch of furry friends and I love them all the same. I'm an animal lover, veterinarian is the name. Let's share some pet stories from heartwarming to strange, losses and gains, from wacky to insane. For real. You're now tuned in to For Real with your host, Mark Kyle.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the For Real Podcast. Guess what? I've got somebody back with me that I've become a friend with, and really excited to have him back, Michael Baines, with probably my favorite name ever for a dog rescue. The man that rescues dogs. Still, well, I'll never forget it, and I guarantee once you listen, if you haven't heard the first episode, you'll listen. You'll love him. But we've got some exciting announcements to talk about, and we're going to get caught up in what's going on with the organization. Hey, Michael, welcome back again.
Hey, Mark, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here again with you, of course.
Well, I tell you, you're doing great things, but after that first time when we talked, I had so much fun doing the episode. When we decided to do this one again, I was excited to get you back on.
Thank you. Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's, instead of getting caught up exactly what's been going on since I talked to you last, for the people that may have not listened before, can you just talk a little bit about what you're doing out there, how you got started, and all that kind of stuff? And I don't think we need to go in as detailed as we did before, because everybody that's listening can always go back and hear that. But let's talk about that, and then get caught up with everything else.
All right. Well, I'm Michael Baines, born in Scotland. I know you don't believe me with my accent, but I'm raised in Sweden, and so I've been 2 years old. We moved to Sweden. I moved to Thailand at the age of 33. That's 20. Ooh, that's a long time ago. 22 years ago. 22 years ago. And as a chef, I worked as a chef up to one day. There was a dog that showed up behind my restaurant, and she was in really bad shape. I fed her. She came back every day. I took her to the clinic. That's the start of me and my little humble hobby with dogs. So, and one more dog and five more dogs, and up to about 80 dogs. And then there was a clip on Facebook that went viral. We got more donations. I rented a house. I hired staff, and we took in more cases. 2017, I took over the local dog pound from the municipality, and now we're here today with 770 dogs at our shelter, 8,000 square meters, and we have 45 staff, fully equipped clinic, two veterinarians, and we do a lot of spay and neuter. We feed another 400 on the streets. So from one dog to about 1,200 dogs, 13 years later. Here I am.
Well, let's one thing you left out, when you fed that first dog, you weren't really a dog person when you started. That's one of the things that really stuck with me. Now look at you.
Well, yeah, I wasn't. I was more like indifference when I saw. There's so many stray dogs in Thailand. You just get used to it. I always liked dogs, but I was never had any dogs except one. My stepdad had a dog when he moved into us. Short lived. That dog didn't live so long time. So yeah, I wasn't really a dog person.
Well, I guess you made up for lost time.
I guess I have a lot. Yeah.
Hey, so when we talked last time, how many dogs live in the house with you? 40 or something like some crazy number?
No. I have 15 dogs.
15.
Yeah, 15.
We can feel like 40.
It sometimes I feel like 40, especially when I go to bed, and I have four or five of them in my bed, and then during the night there's two more. So I have a really small piece of the bed on the left side. I'm surprised I haven't fallen down on the floor yet. But yeah, but it's nice to have them there. The rest sleeps on the floor. I have little beds and blankets all over my house. So yeah, we all sleep inside. It's family.
So it's really a dog house, and you live there.
It's a dog house, and they let me live here. Yes, that's correct.
Exactly.
That's
Hey,
correct.
I don't know if you saw, there was an article. I'm actually have reached out to a study that was done. I'm trying to remember where it was, but about how cuddling with dogs in bed is actually not as good as you think it is. It's actually not as healthy for the dogs or for the humans. I don't know that's going to stop anybody from doing it, but I'm curious to see what that study was. They did some big study on it. It just came out recently, last month or so.
You say it's not healthy?
Yeah, you don't sleep. They don't sleep as well, and you don't sleep as well. Supposedly, I don't know. I haven't talked to the people yet. I mean, I've reached out to them. We haven't got them on the episode, so I'm curious to see how that study came from.
Because my dogs sleep very well, and when I wake, I have to wake them up
Yeah,
in the morning. I have my alarm set to 5 a.m., and they look at me like, "Come on, man," you know. But then
you got to get your kids.
time for a walk, then they go. No, I think because I have a few of the dogs. They sleep in exact same positions. Like Carrot sleep next to my belly, and Rosie sleeps next to my head, and Baloo sleeps. Well, he's everywhere. He's a little bit of a moron. He cannot. All the other dogs curl up like perfect little balls, and
Yeah.
he's everywhere. His his feet and legs is like all over the place. So yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. You can sleep late.
Well, they're strays, so they're probably feeling a sense of security, I would think.
Yeah, but actually, these dogs that most of my dogs were not most, but a few of them they were rescued when they were just 2 months old. So
Oh.
they're not stray dogs.
So in the last year, has there been any major changes? We'll get into one of the reasons why we're talking today. But been going on with the organization in the last year? By the way, for everybody's listening, you probably have seen. If you haven't listened to the episode, one of the things we need to get into is what I just read the term, and I don't remember. I was talking about the wheelchair mafia, which I think is a great term, by the way. But you said this, you posted this thing and went viral, and that was all these dogs. Can we talk a little bit about that? Because that's, if anything, that put you on the map.
Sure, we have a care unit at our place, and we specialized in special need dogs. And we have some of them in the care unit are very old or they're blind. They have the distemper survivors, but the distemper have entered the central nervous system already, which means they twitch a bit and they not really they're functional, but they have some issues. But they are still lovely dogs and happy. Then we have the wheelchair mafia, and the wheelchair mafia is a term I invented a few years back. So we have 44 dogs in wheelchairs that been paralyzed mostly because of a traffic accidents here. The traffic is really bad here, and yeah, it's walk them twice a day. We strap them up in the wheelchairs, and I think that was a few years back. A clip went viral, and you can see these dogs running out from the gate from the care unit, and they always the same. They're happy. It's amazing to see them, and just run around there. It's the same as almost the first time they ever run. So yeah, it's remarkable. You can find most of these clips on our Instagram or TikTok also. If you want to see them in action, or come here.
Well, yeah, well, you need to come there actually, but it went viral, and it's one of those. It's really inspiring because when you see that, and I'm telling you, for the listeners who haven't seen it, you see these 40 plus dogs running, and I don't think any of them don't have a huge smile on their face. And the fact that you're doing that, because in your part of the world, most people would probably euthanize the dogs because that's just what you would do because they can't walk.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think in Sweden, actually, I don't know if I talked about that this last time, but it's against the law to have a dog that is paralyzed and have to be put in wheelchairs.
Really?
Yeah,
No, we didn't talk about that. Do you think that is part of the reason why you created the Wheelchair Mafia? Because you grew up in a place where they weren't allowed to be alive?
I didn't know at that time. So how I found out about this was that I adopted a dog named Cork. He from I saw him every day when we were out walking, and he was a young puppy. And one day I didn't see him. I asked the owner, "So where's Cork?" He said that he's been hit by a car, and then he came running to us, and he was running on the two front legs only. And I suggested her to I will get a wheelchair. And the next day she asked me if I can adopt him. She thought that she couldn't take care of him, and I said yes. And that time, I was living in a gated community with a lot of Swedish people here in Thailand. And they passed my house and they said I'm an animal abuser. Three of them said that. And I said, "What are you talking about?" "Well, you should put him to sleep." I said, "Why? He's a perfectly happy dog." So what I did, I emailed 10 regional or provincial veterinarians in Sweden and asked them, is it against the law to have, is it animal abuse from my side to have a dog that is paralyzed? They said to me, according to the law, you have to put that dog to sleep because the dog don't have a dog life, a happy dog life. Okay. Five of them said, but if he's not in pain and you take care of him, that's up to you. You can keep him. It's your time, and if he's not in pain. I said, fine. So that's when I found out about that. But if you have a dog in Sweden that is paralyzed or paralyzed, and the neighbor call on you to this veterinarian, the provincial veterinarian, they can't put the dog to sleep because of this, which is nuts.
That is, I wonder how that came about. That's unbelievable to me. I wonder if there's any other countries that have that as well. That's crazy.
Yeah, very. Yeah, it's nuts.
So some idiot was decided, okay, well, we're going to make this a law, so we don't. Basically, they don't want to have to see it. Probably.
Probably, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's first of all, if you are paralyzed, you don't have any feelings. The spine is broken, the nerves is broken,
Right.
so there's no feelings from there from to the end.
From the point of where it started. Yeah.
Anyway,
That's crazy.
I didn't. Well, so when I had him, he actually passed away 1 year ago today or 2 days ago. So he had pancreatitis. Unfortunately, he died. So he's not with me anymore.
So you had him for how long?
Since he was 6 months, so he from 2012, about 11 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, he was my buddy. So with my knowledge about paralyzed dogs, we did start to take in one more and two more and three more and so on, and then we got specialized in that also. And now we're full. We cannot take in any more paralyzed dogs, unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad because you're just overgrown because you can only do so much, I guess.
We don't have any more space.
So let's talk about what your big announcement you guys made yesterday and how that came about and that. So I'm gonna let you make the announcement because I think it's totally cool
Yeah.
and gonna be something everybody's gonna want to see. So what is it?
Uh, I wrote a book.
You wrote a book.
Wrote a book.
I wrote a book,
Yeah.
and well, your life story is pretty amazing from this, going from being a chef to being, having the wheelchair mafia to having, 1,200 dogs you take care of and all that. So, how did that come about? And let's hear a little bit about the book because I think it's awesome.
Well, the book is actually from before I was born. My mom have had her story in it also, and also from my when I was a child. And apparently, according to my mom, I was a little angel. And I always questioned that. I said, "Mom, are you sure you don't talk about my other brother? Because I can't imagine me being an angel, but apparently I was." And so it's about my story from birth or before that, me growing up in a small town in the middle of Sweden, up to my teenage years when I moved from my mom, moved to Stockholm, worked in the restaurant business, a lot of drugs, rock and roll. What can I say?
Well, that hospitality industry. It's just part of the game.
It is, yeah. And going through my life and writing about this, it's been an emotional roller coaster. I've been crying, and now I'm going to start again now. It's deep. It's deep, and you have to. I need to share it all. This yeah, it's like an open book. I'm like an open book now. So everything is in.
Well, you are an open book now. That's for sure.
Everything, everything is in there. And then when I moved to Thailand and worked with as a chef here, and then also, of course, crescendo with me start rescuing dogs. So it's about my life. It's about me and what I do and what we do today.
Well, what you're doing today is pretty amazing. So, but how did you decide to write a book? I mean, for your entire life, to become an open book. How'd that happen?
Well, actually, I've been asked many times throughout the years to write a book about me and my life and what I'm doing today, and I was more like, who's interested in this? Who want to buy a book about me? And it didn't happen. But then, Hey Witchcraft, the publishing company that are going to publish my book, they saw a couple of clips and posts on Instagram, and they reached out to me. This is almost 1.5 year ago, and they wanted me to write the book.
Well, let's talk about Witchcraft Creative because when I found out about you were doing this stuff, I dug into it a little bit. They're an amazing organization. It's a woman-owned organization
Yeah,
that is creating books to help bring money back to nonprofit organizations.
yeah.
And I love their process of what they're doing. And if for anybody that wants to just go check out their website, you can see a lot of stuff on Michael's book. It's called heywitchcraft.com. If you go there, everything they post about you, it's really cool. I love it. And I'm not saying this because we're doing a podcast. I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I think they've done a great job.
I think that yeah, they're amazing people and great to work with. No, they're just fantastic people, and I hope they will get more work to publish more books after this one. I do hope that. I do think they will. They're great people.
So how's the process? So they talk to you, they do these nonprofit things. So they go to you and say, I think you've got a story here. I know you've always, people have told you to write books. We want you to do it. So what happens from there?
Well, we had an online meeting, and first time I met them, I was Samantha, and she, yeah, she, I don't know, she just convinced me to do a book, to write a book, and of course, I got help, but yeah, it's my words, and it's been quite a journey, but she convinced me, Samantha, good job.
I get it. So, as we were talking, before we started recording, I've written some children's books,
Yeah.
and it's not an easy process. So let's talk a little bit about your process. And I mean, you're one of the busiest guys I know. You've got all these dogs all over the place. You got them sleeping in your house. How do you find time to parcel out time? I mean, a year and a half is not a long time to get out a life story. So how did you do that? And kind of just let's just kind of dig into it a little bit so people can understand. Did you write like an hour a day? Did you dictate stuff? I know you probably had you were saying you had like a ghostwriter, but you still had the story. So how does it work?
Yeah, we had online meetings, and I was talking about my life from the start and so on. But also I write down many things on paper and use my computer and so on and send it to the publisher, and they mix this into a great story. Actually, I'm not really know what I'm doing. So for me, it's just what is going on. I'm writing a book. Me, as you said. I mean, for me, it was more like people have done it said before, do it, do it, do it. I said, I cannot do it. How can I do it?
Yeah.
But then I just did it. So Samantha, she convinced me to do it, and she's good in convincing people. So no, they're great people. I'm so lucky to have that they reached out to me and really made it happen. But I still cannot believe that I'm releasing a book. I cannot.
Yeah, but Michael, let's take a step back for a second. 20 years ago, could you imagine you having a dog sanctuary or a foundation, I guess now it's called?
No, 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 not at all.
Yeah. So it's the same thing, but different.
Yeah, but this one just I was not in my mind at all to I was for me I was about to okay I would have my restaurant until I'm old and grumpy and now I'm only grumpy, not old yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say now you're only old. You're not
Now
grumpy.
I'm only grumpy. I'm not old.
Okay.
I was planning, have my restaurant maybe another 20 years and then retire and do that. But dogs showed up and I couldn't say no. And so, yeah, I wasn't planning on this. And that it wasn't for me like rescue one dog and then I ended up with 1,000 dogs. So it's been a journey there also. And more and more. And I'm stubborn. I never give up.
Yeah, well, you're persistent.
Yeah, that also. So it's all of that. So I just needed to show. I don't like to give up. Okay, I don't like to give up on anything unless that's it. I'm done. But I fall through to the end. I do everything to the end. If it's about business, whatever it is, I do it. And as I said, I don't give up easily.
So basically, once you get started, you're gonna make sure you finish it. So basically, I'm thinking as you're telling me. So one dog shows up. Next thing you know, you got 1,200 dogs you're taking care of.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was people are telling you to do this book, and it's intimidating. Trust me, as a person who's done any kind of writing, and I mean, my writing's not anywhere near like that. It's really difficult and intimidating. So what you did is you had just one creative witch show up,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
Witchcraft Creative
yeah, yeah,
show up and said, "Hey, I got an idea, and you're going to do it."
yeah, yeah, yeah. Something like that.
So, are you excited? You got to be excited. It's getting out. So, when is it going to be out exactly? Do you know?
I think the launch day will be August 26th.
Oh, so we got to wait a couple months. That's crazy.
It's not that much. If you look, it's only 7 weeks.
Yeah, 7 weeks for you, but because you've been working on it for a year and a half, I'm talking about it now, so I'm going to see it tomorrow.
uh, yeah, it's not that far. It's not that far away. It's as I said, it's like 7 weekends, 8 weekends.
And they were announcing the name. It's kind of a surprise name, but it just came out today, I guess, or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
Posted it on the website. Yes, and it's homemade.
Homemade. I love the name, The Man Who Rescues Dogs. Let's do this. I mean, I'm excited about it. So everybody that's listening, you can find out a lot about it on their website, which is called heywitchcraft.com. But let's talk. Let's get back to the dogs a little bit and just tell a couple of really heartwarming stories, some crazy stories you did, so everybody can. For those that didn't listen to the first episode, or maybe we'll go back and listen to it, but let's just talk about a couple of those, and then we'll let you go. I know it's nighttime your time and early morning for me, so let's just let's talk a little bit about a little bit more about a couple stories about your favorites. They're all your favorites with some stuff about the dogs, and then I'll let you go pet your dogs or whatever you got to feed them probably.
I'm probably going to go play badminton. We have a badminton tournament coming up on the 10th. Here, the staff here at our foundation. I bought some rackets. I bought a net, and it's a fun game. Everybody's playing, or almost everyone.
At your sanctuary?
Yes.
Really cool.
Yeah. I try to activate the staff. Otherwise, they just sit home and look at TV.
Yeah.
Or join in podcasts.
Yeah. Well, lucky you.
There's so many heartwarming stories. I don't know if I told the last time. Milo was a little dog that was we got notification of. He was living at the market at the university here in the local in Bangsan, and he had severe mange, cracked up skin. He was eye infection, skinny. You can see his rib cage, and he was just strutting around there like a 5-6 months old puppy. So we took him in, and we started to treat him, and he ended up the most beautiful dog you've ever seen. And that time, we sent him to America. I don't send dogs abroad anymore, except if you haven't been here volunteering, for example, and you fall in love with the 1 or 2 or 3 dogs, then we do that, yes. But just send other dogs abroad to other countries, there's no point. There's so many dogs sitting in shelters around the world waiting for you to adopt them. So please adopt locally. So we rehome locally. Anyway, at that time, we did send him over to Phoenix, to a family that adopted him, and he's still alive. He's doing great. So that's really heartwarming story.
That's pretty cool.
We have, of course, we have sad stories also, but they're not so fun to talk about. But there are, of course, sad stories.
Well, what can you hear my dogs? So you guys have like even a water area for the dogs and all that too, that are handicapped dogs. Want to get a little bit more detailed in those dogs?
Well, we have
Like a rehab center or something?
yeah, we have a little pool, not a pool. We do a hydrotherapy in the pool 3 times a week for the dogs in wheelchairs, or the dogs that need to be more need to have more movement in their body. So we do that 3 times a week, and that's also fun. We do physiotherapy where we have the paralyzed dogs. We help them stand up. We let them sit down as a dog, not to have the legs folded backwards. They put the paws on the ground, and we go from that position, sitting down and standing up, and then we try to balance them so they can stand up and not fall down, so they can feel like they are a four-legged dog. And this is also we do massage for them. Of course, the walking. We have a lot of visitors that love these dogs. So the interaction all day long from 5 o'clock in the morning for these guys. Have a siesta maybe from 11 to 1, and then we start again. And about 4 or 5, it's nighttime for them, and they are tired because they've been up and around all day. So it's the same. It's the same with all our shelters. As I said, we have 8,000 square meters, and it's divided into 6 different big kennels. It's not small kennels. They're about 800 to 1,200 square meters, and in one kennel, let's say it's 800 square meters, we have 100 dogs. So I calculate one dog should have at least 8 square meters for one dog. So it's not crowded. We do walk them. Almost all dogs get walked every day outside the shelter, So we have the statistics, and last week we walked 3,700 dogs in 1 week. That's more than 500 per day. So that means about 200 don't get walked because they don't want to go outside. So we do it with almost all dogs go walk with no leashes because this area is only us. It's a big area.
I know you're in a remote area.
Yeah.
So that you have no leashes and the wheelchair dogs, do they I guess I want to say I'm going to go back and call them their name, the wheelchair mafia. Do they go out every day on wheelchairs running around or is it just every now and then?
No, no, twice a day. 6 in the morning.
Twice a day. That's right. That's what I thought. I remembered started that.
6 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. That's when they get walked. Yeah. Because if you have I mean, we also only have 2 legs each, but when you only have 2 legs as a dog, you don't
Right.
get as much energy out as they need to be if you have 4 legs. So we do need to activate these dogs more. Otherwise, they start to fight with each other. They get bored, frustrated. They do that anyway. Sometimes fight, but that's not because of they are not being having some activities. It's more because they don't like each other.
Right.
That happens also even if you are paralyzed. So
Yeah. That's that's I just think the story is such an amazing story. So now that you finished the book, and now, once that book gets out and everybody's going to read it, they're going to want a sequel. So you're going to get to write again because I know you're going to want to do that again.
yeah, I don't know. I think I emptied all. Maybe wait 10 years and do my retirement years or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe a movie, huh?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think that, well, isn't there a documentary or something like that for you guys?
There is a documentary on our YouTube channel, The Man Rescue Dogs, and that was made 2013.
Wow.
That was me before tattoos, me before 1,200 dogs. That was me and 80 dogs. So we are hopefully I will get the filmmaker Anna from Sweden to make a sequel 10 years after.
Or some American that can get it out into English speaking world as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So a couple things for you guys that are listening. Let's give everybody. I know you keep saying the man who rescues dogs, but it's the letter. So it's TM. It's a man who. Why don't you do it? The man that rescues dogs. TMTRD.org.
Yeah,
How about that? I got it.
tmtradio.org. Yes, you can find all our social media links there and way how to donate. We spend a lot of money. We spend a lot of money, almost 60,000 US per month.
For all the animals to feed them and all that kind of stuff.
Well, actually the biggest cost is staff, well, as you say, staff.
Yeah.
But nobody works for free, and we need staff, and we have 45 of them. And then we have the next biggest is the drugs and medication, and then food, transportation, of course, because we feed and monitor 400 dogs on the streets. So that's also a big cost. But we do the Arizona expansion. I don't know if you saw that, but Beast Philanthropy over here. You know, Mr. Beast, the biggest is the biggest YouTuber in the world,
Yeah.
and he have his Beast Philanthropy, and he's giving back to society. And they were here as a big surprise.
I didn't see that.
I got check our YouTube. No, check their YouTube channel, Beast Philanthropy,
I will for sure.
and it was released in September last year. You will see a grown-up man cry. That would be me.
You mean the guy that you couldn't rescue or you can actually recognize anymore from pre-tattoos and 4 million dogs?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were great. They did such a surprise. I'm gonna have a look at it, all of you, and it's a great clip. You can see what we're doing, and excellent. There's another YouTube clip that a friend of ours named Chris Walker. It's WALK4R. So it's the number four Walker with the number four, not an E.
Okay.
And he did a clip released a few days back. That's also a great clip.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Maybe in fact when I put the reels for the episode, I'll put that out as well.
You can see the Mafia there also.
So if people want to let's talk about, I know you want donations and that. If people want to volunteer or donate even products for you guys, because you guys Amazon or whatever out there too, can you talk a little bit about that just so we can get whatever help we can to you?
You're welcome to volunteer here or visit us if you're in the neighborhood. By the way, we are located in Thailand. Maybe if nobody knew that. So we accept volunteers. We have 3 volunteers here now, and we have a lot of visitors on the weekends and other days also, but most of the weekends. You can come here and donate money or donate food or just visit the dogs, make clips, put it on your Instagram or your Facebook, whatever your social media is, and that helps a lot. If you're a musician, you can write a song for us, give us your royalties. If you have podcast, I'll be happy to join podcast. Whatever, everything help. Everything help to get the word out. This is what is very important to get the word out, to get the message out, to people get awareness about us, of course, and other people that work with dogs around the world. But I'm more concentrating on us now. So.
Well, of course, you're concentrating on your helping animals. But the other thing is, let's go back to the book because for you guys that are listening, again, I know I brought it up a couple times. So when the book comes out, all the royalties are going to the animals,
Yeah.
and that's what I think is just an amazing thing. And you can again find it at heywitchcraft.com and actually check out this organization is Witchcraft Creative. They're doing some pretty amazing things. It's a I'm going to use their part of their name, creative. It's a real creative way to raise money for nonprofits by creating books that generate money that can go back to these people that are doing good things. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and you can sign up for updates on the book there, where you can order it and the exact date when it will be released. But it's end of August. We're planning on that end of August.
Well, homemade, I'm excited to read it. So now we've got our favorite thing that you love because you never even know what I'm saying when I tell this silly joke. So I have a joke that I wanted a joke that would relate to what we're talking about today. So it's about writers. So, and if you don't understand, hopefully our audience will understand. And again, everybody cringes when I tell the jokes, but here's my joke for you, and let's see if you can get this one. I know last time you kind of just go, what? Anyways, so why don't escaped convicts, people from prison, make good writers?
No, beat me.
They never finish their sentence, the length of time they You got that
I got that one. Yeah. Uh,
I wanted to have one that would relate to today. But anyways, for everybody that's out there, I always say this, I'm always looking for people. If your kids want to tell a joke, clearly I need help with this one. This one today was actually even Michael got this one, a rare moment.
I got it. Yeah.
But anyways, seriously, if you want to tell a joke on the show, or if you've got good information for content for the show, whatever, if you send me an email, mkyle at forreal, FURREAL, forrealpodcast.com, mkyle forrealpodcast.com. I'm telling you, I'll put you on. Trust me, I would rather not tell the jokes. I'd rather somebody else tell the jokes, and I'm sure yours will be better. But most importantly, Michael, thanks again. I'm really excited for you. I think having a book out your story is an amazing story. And we didn't get into some of the stuff that when you go to the heywitchcraft.com stuff about, the people you're working for. And I'm going to leave that as a cliffhanger so they can figure out what it is. Some of the craziness that you were doing
Oh yeah.
and your journey to get to where you are now.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great story. I know it's going to be successful. I'm going to go out of my way to make sure everybody knows about it. But I really appreciate you taking the time to spread the word with me, and we get to talk again. So I really appreciate you being on the show again.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate that a lot.
And for everybody else out there that's listening, please keep following, spread the word, tell people about this. Actually, go back to the first episode that Michael and I did. I think it's titled The Man Who Rescues Dogs, but go and listen to hear the detailed story of everything. It's pretty amazing. But also keep following, pass the word out, get more people to listen. But most importantly, from the bottom of my heart, I really, really appreciate you being on the show for real.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real.
We're supported by Let's Walk, that's here to love your animals like our own.
Austin, Houston, and Denver. Let's Walk is here to love your animals like our own. From daily walks, play, in-house sleepovers, and more. Go to work, out on the town, or take a vacation knowing your pets are in the best hands. This woman-owned small business does it all. Check us out on Instagram at Let's Walk Austin, Houston, and Denver.
That concludes this episode of For Real with your host, Mark Kyle. For previous and future episodes of For Real, listen via all major podcast streaming sites.